Hello and welcome to your March 2022 forecast readings with me, Intuitive Rene. Always such an honor and privilege to be here for you, and thank you for giving me the space to create this kind of content that keeps you inspired, motivated, and enthusiastic about life. So we are looking at March 2022. I actually can't quite wrap my head around that, but anyway, um, what this video is a series of 12 individual videos that are the same but completely different. Basically, I record a single video for each sign of the zodiac using the same layout or the same spread, the same deck of cards, but obviously the cards that come through, the messages that come through, and the reading that comes through will be completely different for each sign of the zodiac. So there are 12 identical spreads or 12 identical readings, and you get to choose one based on your sun sign. And if you know yourself, your astrology, and you know your rising sign and your moon sign, you're welcome to watch those as well to get other aspects or just another angle on your own life and your own what's coming through for you during the month of March 2022. So these videos, these taroscopes as I call them, they are released the week before the new month. So in the last week of the previous month you will get them, which is why you're now getting the March readings. And the way that I suggest that you work with this is obviously before the month starts itself, watch the video to get an idea of what's in store for you, what you need to be aware of, what you need to know about, what's coming up for you, so that you could almost plan and be prepared for anything. And then during the month, at least once, I would say about halfway through, but anytime that you find yourself facing a challenge or facing a problem, come back to the video and look at it or watch it again, even if you just pick out certain aspects of it, just to remind you and to help you stay focused on whatever it is that you need to stay focused on. So before I push the record button, I do all the behind the work scenes of connecting to spirit and setting the intentions and all of that other kind of good stuff, and making sure that I set the intentions correctly for each one of you. So it is a collective reading, so it's for everybody who has the same sign of the zodiac, but each one of you will hear something different through the reading, and that's the intention that I set, and that's the way that I work with spirit. We're using the tarot just as a tool, just to help formulate, if I can say, the stuff that needs to come across. And for this month, for the month of March, I am working with two amazing decks. The first one I'm going to work with is if I can get the glare off, is the Enchanted Map Oracle. And the Enchanted Map Oracle is going to give us our theme for the month ahead. And it's the first card that we're going to draw through the reading. And like I said, I do love working with this particular deck. This is such an old deck. I think it's like one of the first that ever joined my collection from the Oracle point of view. And I mean, it is so old and grubby and dirty and fabulous. So I love working with Enchanted Map to give us our theme for the month ahead. And then, getting quite excited, I'm going to work with the Spacious Tarot. So the Spacious Tarot is a normal, typical tarot deck, but from a different perspective. The whole deck, every single card, if I remember correctly, there's no people in the deck, so it's almost like from your eyes. Okay, so it's if you're looking at whatever's in front of you, but from your eyes or from your vantage point, it's the Spacious Tarot. It's the space in front of you. So because we're doing a forward look, because we're looking at the month ahead, I thought working with the Spacious Tarot, and it's such a beautiful deck. The artwork is just exquisite. So quite looking forward to working with Spacious Tarot as well. And of course, they're a beautiful sized deck. It's not overly large and difficult for me to shuffle and to work with. They're a beautiful size, perfect size as far as I'm concerned. So those are the two decks that I'm going to be working with. And as I mentioned earlier on, I am doing quite a detailed spread. I've got 10 cards or 10 card positions. So I'm going to shuffle and lay out 10 cards and read. It is the same format that I used in February. So if you enjoyed the format I used, then we're going to work with the same format for the month of March. And we're going to lay out the 10 cards and just see what comes through for every one of you. This particular intro is a generic intro. So I'm recording this intro once, and I'm just going to add it into every single video that I create hereafter for the March Taroscopes. And I just do it to save myself repetitive talking, and also because when I start recording and I start like with Aries and move all the way through to Pisces, I get in the zone, okay? And because of that, I want to just, when I'm doing those readings, just get straight into it and bring through whatever information that you need. If you enjoy this kind of content and if you enjoy these taroscopes, I am just a small channel here on YouTube. I'm nobody big and fancy and fabulous. So the best way to support and to show appreciation for what I do is to give the video a thumbs up and a comment below. Get all your friends to come and watch. But the more you interact with the video, the more you're letting YouTube know that this is good content and other people need to see it. So YouTube will recommend it to other people, and that's the best way to support me, and also just to show me that yeah, that you do enjoy what I do. So thank you so much, and let's get straight into your reading. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into your reading and see what the month of March has in store for you. So I'm shuffling the Enchanted Map Oracle. This is going to give us our theme for the month ahead, for the month of March 2022, for all Sagittarius energy. I'm just looking for a single card from this deck, which is going to be the theme, the overall theme for the month ahead. So let's get a card. I think I have shuffled sufficiently. And I am going to go for that one over there. Let's have a look and see what the theme for the month is. So Sagittarius, we have got Magic Prayer, card 32. I like that. So let's, obviously I don't read the guidebooks on Oracle decks. So Magic Prayer is about setting the intentions, isn't it? It's about recognizing the power of manifestation that you have and setting the intentions for whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is that you need in life. I love the fact that there's movement in her hair, okay? Her eyes are closed, which means that she is subconscious and not conscious, if I can put it that way. And the fact that there is movement in her hair is acknowledgement of, once we've set the magic intention, once we've done the work, the rest of it just flows. And I'm loving this energy. Now, this energy is here by her chest and her throat areas, and obviously her shoulders, and we carry our burdens on our shoulders, don't we? You know, that they talk about burdened shoulders and things like that. So the Magic Prayer is about just acknowledging the power that you have to manifest and to create whatever it is that you want for yourself. But it's about being very much aware of the burdens that you're carrying, and the fact that things happen very quickly and there's constant flow and constant movement, even if you're not visually aware of it. I like that. So for a theme for the month ahead, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. So Sagittarius, I am now grabbing the Spacious Tarot, and I'm giving the Spacious Tarot a good shuffle, and we're looking to take 10 cards from the Spacious Tarot, which are going to give us our detail for the month of March. I have shuffled quite a bit before I started recording, but let's just make sure that we are doing the magic prayer and setting the relevant intentions that we need so that we get the cards that are right, relevant, and appropriate. So just while I'm shuffling, I want to just talk about magic prayer. You know, just because, okay, let me start that thought process again. You don't have to be religious to pray. You don't have to have a set structured religion or belief system in order to pray. Anything that you want, anything that you dream of, anything that you desire, when you talk about your dreams and talk about your hopes and talk about those things, that is a magic prayer. It is about setting intentions, just as your thoughts set intentions and just as your thoughts manifest into real life so quickly. So I am going to say to you, Sagittarius, I haven't even turned all the cards over yet, but I am going to say to you that it's very, very important during the month of March that we be very aware of our magic prayers and what we're putting out to the universe, because you have to learn and you have to recognize and you have to understand that the universe answers your prayers, whether you intended them as a prayer or not. So if you're a stress mechanic, if you're a worrywart, if you're somebody who's constantly talking about or thinking about what can go wrong, it's almost like you're putting that out into the universe and saying, right, here's 20 examples of things that can go wrong, and the universe goes, okay, have them all, you know. So we have to be very mindful of what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and our actions, and make sure that they're all in line with each other. Because if you have one negative thought, the universe will respond and give that to you. Okay, I have laid out 10 cards. I just want to have a quick look to see what is predominant, what's coming through here. And the first one I see here is what we call a court card. So I've got one court card, 2 court card, 3 court card, but I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards as well. So we've got court cards and major arcana cards. Now, to me, the court cards are about the actions that us people, humans, can carry out. So it's about the doing, it's about the things that need to take place. And the major arcana cards are about the big life events. So it's definitely, for all of you Sagittarius, it looks like this month ahead, March, is going to be a big month. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for change. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for growth, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for setting intentions towards your future. But now let's get into the specifics and try and understand exactly what is in store for you for the month of March. So we go into the month of March as an explorer of pentacles. I love that. And you can see that this little bear is moving. Okay, you can see that he's got his paw raised and he is moving. And I want you to see if you can see the necklace that he's carrying. So he's got this little pendant, and it is a little coin, a little pentacle that he is carrying, which is his worldly possessions. And he is moving in a forward direction. So Explorer of Pentacles in traditional tarot would be your Knight of Pentacles. And your Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's really confident in himself. He's somebody who's really proud of his accomplishments and his achievements, but he also knows what he's capable of doing. He knows what he can do and he knows what he can't do, but he doesn't allow either of those to prevent him. So Sagittarius, this is you coming into the month feeling quite optimistic and feeling quite self-assured and feeling quite confident in yourself and what's in store for you. Okay, so even like now when we're talking about magic prayer, you know what that means, and you know that you set the intentions, and you work with the law of attraction, and like so far I haven't said anything that you don't already know, but you're also not allowing it to change you. You're sort of saying, this is my path, this is where I'm going, and this is where I'm moving, and I'm just going to keep going. And I think that's quite awesome. All right, the challenge that we face though, and the reason why this is all coming to the forefront, is the full moon. So here we have the moon card, and I love the fact that it's depicted with these mushrooms. Mushrooms are such a strong force of nature. I think my choice of words is terrible there, but just bear with me. Mushrooms bring us so many nutrients and bring us so much value, and all of those kind of good things, but they're also the thing that grows in the dark. They grow where there's not much light, and we are programmed into thinking and believing that the sunlight is where we get our growth from, and if we don't shed light on a situation, we cannot grow. This moon card has come through in the position of your challenges around the activities that you're working through during the month of March. And I think it's telling you that not everything is as it seems. So even though you're quite confidently moving on and doing whatever it is you need to, you've got to be very much aware of what's happening in the shadows. You've got to be very much aware of what's happening where, out of sight as such, because there are things brewing. The mushrooms are growing, things are developing and progressing, even if you're not fully consciously aware of it. And that is the challenge that you may be facing. So again, the magic prayer, even though everything is perfect in your life, even though you don't have any problems, there's no obstacles, there's no challenges, there's no dilemmas in your life, magic prayer is saying to you, it doesn't mean that you don't still pray for protection, for growth, for all of those other kind of good things. So this is Spirit saying to you, like I'm going to call it a little warning, Sag. This is Spirit saying to you, even though you feel like everything is perfect, everything is great, and you don't need extra support, please do make sure that you still request and ask and set the intention. Say your nightly prayers, daily prayers, whatever it may be, because not everything is as it seems, and there are some things lurking in the shadows that you're not fully aware of. Okay, what is lying beneath the surface? And here we have the Chariot card. So here we're going a little bit white river rafting, whitewater rafting. And I have never done it before, but for those of you who have, I'm sure you understand that you have to go with the current. You can't go against the current, and you have to be really focused, because it's choppy and it's crazy, and especially in this particular situation where there's a narrow passage that you can work through. And if you're not really focused and paying attention and being in the moment, you could actually end up hitting into one of the sides. So it is about being very mindful of your actions and being very mindful of what you're doing. So even though we're quite confident in ourselves and our abilities and, the things that we're doing and, where we're going and how we're doing it, etc., we still need to pay attention, okay? We still need to be very mindful of our actions and our behaviors because, like in this particular instance as well, as we move down the river, there's this brightness there, which means that our vision is a little bit obscured and we can't really see all that clearly. So even though, again, super confident, quite capable, living your best life, moving in the right direction, we don't actually know what's coming up for us. We don't actually know what's just there beyond the borders. And this is, again, just a reminder from Spirit that there may be some things lurking in the darkness under the surface that you might not be fully aware of. Now, I say that everything has been pretty great. Everything has been pretty awesome in your life. You don't actually have any challenges or problems. This Four of Wands card, for example, this is what's brought us into this month of March. So how did we sort of get to this place that we are now, where we're needing to have some prayer and we're needing to be aware of what's lurking in the dark? This is the card of stability. This is the card of commitment. This is the card of happy ever after, if I may call it that. And the Four of Wands is saying to you that, we get to a point in life where everything is okay. Everything is pretty good, okay? And we can live there forever. Now, of course, we want to live there forever. But often what happens is when everything is going so good for such a long time, we start to take our eye off the prize. We start to take our eye off, focusing on the things that maybe we need to or maybe we should. So this is exactly, I think, why or where you are at the moment, Sagittarius. It's not like you've made a mistake. It's not like you've dropped the ball. It's not like you've failed at anything, because you're moving, you're going, you're living your best life, you're doing everything. But there's definitely something lurking that you have not seen or that you have missed somehow. So again, Spirit is saying, make sure to call in your angels, make sure to set your intentions and set your prayers and set everything that you need to do, because we don't want to be caught off guard. Okay, what support is available to you? So what support has Spirit got for you? And I love this. Here we have the Ace of Cups, and can you see how everything in the background is quite blurry, but when we look through this liquid of the cup, suddenly everything comes into focus and everything is so crystal clear. So Spirit are offering you the support of clarity. I know Ace of Cups is about a new connection and a new relationship and a new emotion, but to me, because I see this, suddenly everything is crystal clear when looking through the liquid, and this is the support offered by Spirit. So maybe it's a new Spirit guide. Maybe it's a new relationship with Spirit, because we're setting those magic intentions, those magic prayers. But there's definitely support from Spirit that's going to give you the clarity that you need right now. Because at the moment, I mean, we're 5 cards in, and things are a little bit confusing, aren't they? Things are a little bit confusing. We don't have the clarity, but Spirit is saying to you, don't worry. Even if things aren't clear now, even if this is uncertain to you and you're not quite sure what it actually means, stick with us, okay? Stick with us. We're here for you. The support is there, and we're going to give you the clarity that you need. And this is also where things get really, really interesting, because what are we moving towards? And Spirit is saying here, I mean, there's Earth, here we're on the moon, okay? And you can see that we are far away from it. Obviously, the sun is shining from that way, which is why we're not seeing the full Earth, but we're moving towards just seeing where it goes. And again, I know that doesn't make much sense, but if you think about this situation, the full Earth is there. We can't see it all because we have to wait for the sun to turn, and as the sun turns, we will see more of the Earth, more of it will be in the light, if I can put it that way. So it's almost like you just have to be patient and wait for the light source to shift, or wait for the Earth to move around the light source, or the moon to move around the Earth, whatever it may be. But you have to wait for things to unfold in order to reveal what is in the shadows. So, Sagittarius, we have got lurking shadows in 3 of our 6 cards that we have looked at here, okay? So we've got lurking shadows in 3 out of the 6. Again, magic prayer is telling you, just because everything looks okay on the surface, still reach out for those magic prayers. Everything's not going to be revealed to you Okay, you're not going to get the clarity that you're looking for early in the month. It seems like you have to go through the month. You have to keep going, you have to keep moving, but you need to be aware, you need to be observant, you need to be focused on the things that are happening around you. And interesting that we've got the moon coming through in 2 cards there as well. And the clarity and the understanding will probably only come to you later in the month. But in the meantime, you need to make sure that you've got everything taken care of and catered for in the way that you need to. So one of the things that's quite interesting, this Explorer of Wands has made quite a few appearances in all the taroscopes now in March. It's actually quite interesting how much it's come through. And, you know, if we look at our Explorer of Wands, you know, he is a little salamander. He is so used to the heat. He is so used to all of that. But look how close he's getting to the fire. Look how close he's getting to the flames and to the heat. It's so cute. He's got his little paw and he's sort of like, he's touching. He's like, I'm not sure if I should be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And yes, he's quite comfortable in the hottest of environments. He's quite comfortable in that environment. But at the same time, there is a little bit of apprehension, like, you know, I've done it before, but does it mean I can do it again? And this is how you are perceived. This is how people are seeing you. This is how people are expecting you to react. People are expecting you to be brave and super confident. People are expecting you to to touch hot stuff. People are expecting you, you know, when they talk about you and when they think about you in whatever this environment is like, oh no, don't worry about them, they'll be absolutely fine, they've handled worse. Okay, so people seem to have a lot of confidence in you. People seem to have a lot of a surety in what you're able to do and how you're able to do it and all of those kind of things, which I think is really great. You, on the other hand, the way that you imagine yourself, I mean, here we've got the 10 of Pentacles. We have this really solid, big structure of a tree. You know, the base of a tree, the trunk of a tree, which is its strongest part, it does not move. You know, it takes a hell of a lot of wind or a hell of a lot of any kind of force to make it shift or to make it move. And here we have all of these, I'm going to call them attachments. And each one of these attachments on this tree does not alter the state of the tree. It does not weaken the tree. It does not make the tree stronger. 10 of Pentacles is the card of abundance. And it's saying to you that there's still plenty space for more. You can still have so much more. So, interestingly, Sage, when I look at these 2 cards in relation to the situation unfolding for you during the month of March, this is Spirit saying to you, abundance is yours. There is so much more available to you, okay? People are very confident in your skills and your abilities. People are very sure that you can handle anything that life throws at you. You just stand solid. You just stand strong. And it's interesting that we've got the 2 browns, okay? And browns is about earth and grounding. And I'm suddenly noticing that they're like almost, I'm going to call it the same shade of brown, and as are our cliffs. So it's like, stay solid, stay strong in your foundations, but we need to keep moving. And even though it seems like the tree's not moving, even though it seems like this tree is fixed and solid, you know, the leaves may be moving, there may be growth taking place, but the growth is not obvious. It's not on the outside. It's just like this particular situation. There is constant movement. The earth is moving, the moon is moving, everything is moving. But in that moment, it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. It's only when you look back at big times or periods of time that you actually see the growth, just as with a tree. So even though you're progressing quite well and doing quite well and feeling quite confident, there are some things to be mindful of. But again, Spirit just want to confirm that there is plenty of abundance available to you, as long as you are standing tall, standing firm, and not measuring yourself on a daily basis. But we need to measure in big chunks of time in order to see the growth and the progress, and possibly even the things lurking underneath the surface. Good. Now what we're looking at here with this particular card, this is, if we can call this a fear, all right? This is a fear. This is something that does concern you, does worry you, and something that maybe, you know, occupies a bit of time in your head. And it's about, you know, how high can you go? When I see this card, it is the Elder of Swords, which is the King of Swords. And to me, it's like, how high can you go? How much can you do? How far can you go? You know, and how high do we have to go to avoid getting stabbed? So it's interesting, my interpretation of this. And again, I think this is Spirit saying that you've got nothing to worry about. You've got absolutely nothing to fear, because your capabilities, your ability to perform and to move and to almost adjust to circumstances happening around you, you know, and your vision is crystal clear. Sorry, suddenly seeing that with the eagle, and the vision is crystal clear over there. So you don't have anything to worry about. Don't ever think that you're not high enough, strong enough, you know, fast enough, or whatever it may be, because you really and really truly are. Okay, you really truly are indeed. All right, so Sag, our final card, and it is the card of justice. What we have here is I have a little black and white stone that has been tossed into the water, and you can see that it has created these ripple effects. And you know that that is an energy, okay? Each ripple is an energy that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and moving further and further and further away. And we don't know how far it goes, and we don't know what it's bumping into, but obviously when it bumps into something, it comes back until it has completely dissipated. The Justice card is the card of repercussions. Okay, it is the card of saying to you that you know, some things just happen in the way that they happen, and there's no changing it. That once you've thrown that stone, once you've cast the stone, you know, you can't stop the ripple effect, because once that energy has been exerted, it has to do whatever it is that it has to do. And the message of the Justice card in relation to everything here is telling you not to stop. Okay, because even though we're talking about some things lurking in the dark, even though we're talking about, you know, we're not really too clear on what's going on around us, and we need to keep our protection up, and we need to keep our prayers and keep up with our meditation and all of those kind of good things. This is Spirit saying to you, don't give up, don't stop your progress, don't stop moving in a forward direction, because if you did that, you would be changing the trajectory of your circumstance, of your life, and of the outcomes. So just keep plodding on, but make sure that your head is up, and make sure that you are very aware and looking around you, because again, it looks like there's no challenges. It looks like there's nothing to fear and nothing to be worried about, but we don't know. We don't know. So don't, just because you've had a period of time of no challenges, just because you've had a period of time where everything has been honky-dory and quite perfect, don't take that for granted. Okay, just keep practicing your prayer, keep practicing setting the intentions and understanding the repercussions of your actions, and know that Spirit are with you, and they will give you the clarity you need at any time that you need it. But we have to understand that the actions we take today will have impact and effect on us in the future. So these two cards are talking about your future point, your future location, and it's saying that the movements and the actions and the steps you take today, things that you avoid, the intentions that you set, are going to have an impact on your future. So Sag, that's all very interesting. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you to navigate and to just keep your eyes open and just to be aware of what's going on around you. And I do hope that March turns out to be truly interesting, inspiring, motivating, and wonderful for each one of you. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.